Hey everybody, welcome to this discussion on the mini CER retake. It was the CER PS3 number 1 CER. Don't worry about the CER PS3 and what that means. It's the third book that we're in and that we're studying right now. So if you watch the first video I had you go through the evidence because that's important. In order to get an explanation and to make sure that it's accurate, you need to make a valid claim. But how can you make a valid claim without first exploring the evidence? And some people would argue that you probably should do the evidence and reasoning before you write your claim. And that's not a bad thing to do either. So let's talk about the claim. Now remember, a claim should only be a sentence in length. And I had some people that continue to write mini paragraphs for the claim. You're just answering the question. That's it. You know, what's your conclusion? What did you find from the evidence? And in this case, you're answering the question, why is the clock not moving? So that's what you're going to answer. Now, you already did your evidence. You know what supports what. You can make a valid claim because you know you have the evidence to back it up. So when we looked at the evidence, you saw that one, there's no horizontal forces. There are no horizontal arrows acting on the clock. So that's why the clock is not moving horizontally. And we also know that the table pushing up on the clock is the same amount or is balanced with the weight pulling down on the clock. Remember, weight, we sometimes label as gravity, we label as earth. So it could be all three of those. So don't worry and think that, okay, this one says earth and gravity, but why does this say weight? All three can be used for these models. So your claim based on your evidence could be something similar to this. Now I'm going to restate my question and my answer. The clock is not moving because the vertical force of the table is balanced with the vertical force of the weight. And there are no horizontal forces acting on the clock. So again, I answered it completely and it's in one sentence. I talked both about the table and the weight. So again, I'll repeat it. Again, let me go back up here. The clock is not moving because the vertical, and I'll get a little bit more detail here, because the vertical contact force of the table is balanced with the vertical non-contact force of the weight. And there are no horizontal forces acting on the clock. That's it. That's all you need. You don't have to have an explanation as to why. That's going to come in the reasoning. You don't have to have any evidence. That's going to be in the evidence section. So if you did not get that claim, make sure you rewind the video, watch it again so you can have a good, accurate claim for your retake.